Ha! What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice & Dragons, I will be reviewing the Dino Thunder Pack for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, published by Renegade Game Studios and designed by Jonathan Ying. Now, this is an expansion for the cooperative game that plays 1 to 5 players, expandable up to 6, with other Ranger packs or even some special packs like the Santa Claus one, which is why he's joining the Rangers today. Also, we're getting close to that holiday season. It plays in 60 to 90 minutes and is for ages 14 and above. Now, this pack will be adding the Dino Thunder Rangers to the game, as well as the evil version of Dino Thunder White. So you're going to be getting a monster and 4 Rangers. If you're wondering where Dino Thunder Black comes from, he was already added to the game in the Legendary Ranger pack, Tommy Oliver. So that's right, you're getting Connor, Kira, Ethan, and Trent added to the game, and you're going to be fighting with some Dino powers against the forces of evil. So what will you be doing in the game? Well, you're going to be facing off against foot soldiers and monsters. So the first round, just foot soldiers. Next round, the monsters will start coming out. So you may be facing off against someone like Dino Thunder White. Eventually, you're going to move up to face off against the boss, who you need to defeat. And once you defeat the boss, you'll have saved the city or saved the world, depending on what the stakes are. And you'll also be acquiring Zords because, you know what, you're a Ranger. So the Zords will be assisting you in battle as you work towards your goal. I think I've talked enough about the game, so now I'm going to grab my drink and going to take it to the table one more time. Now we're going to take a look at the components for the Dino Thunder Pack for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. Let's start with our Ranger cards themselves. So let's see if we can get this nicely in focus for everyone. All right, that looks pretty good. So we've got Connor McKnight, Dino Thunder Wed with the Swift Striker ability. If there's an enemy card in play with the fast keyword, you may take the first turn of the battle. If you do, you remove 1 die before rolling from the first attack you perform in the battle. Ethan James. So Ethan James has Clever Solution. Once per attack, when you roll a 0, any Ranger may draw a card. Kira Ford, Perfect Pitch. Once per attack, when you roll a double hit, you gain 1 energy. Trent Mercer, Fierce Impact. Once per battle, after you resolve an attack, if you dealt at least 3 damage, deal 1 damage to an enemy adjacent to the target. We have the Tyrannozord. Exhaust this card when any Ranger performs an attack to add 1 die to it. That Ranger may reroll any number of dice during the attack. Tricerazord, exhaust this card when any Ranger suffers damage. Reduce the damage by 2. That Ranger may choose 1 card from their discard pile and place it in the top of their deck. Sorry, at the top of their deck. Terrazord, exhaust this card during any Ranger turn in battle to gain an energy and reduce the health value of an enemy card by 2 until the end of this turn. Let's see if we can just get that a little more in focus for you there. I think that's looking a little bit better. It's a little tricky with the way the focus works on this 4K camera. I apologize. We got the Dragozord, Dino Thunder White. Exhaust this card when an enemy card is defeated. Deal 2 damage divided as you choose among the enemy cards adjacent to it. And then the Thundersaurus Megazord. When this card is summoned, and at the start of each round, add 4 energy tokens to this card. Once per Ranger turn in battle, any Ranger may remove an energy token from this card to ready an exhausted Zord. So we've got our Rangers, we've got their abilities. Let's take a look at them each individually now. Dino Thunder Red, Connor McKnight with his Tyranno Rod. Let's take a quick look at this cards. Corner Kick, a 2-die attack. After rolling, you may choose to deal the full damage from this attack to an enemy card adjacent to the target instead. Extreme Speed. Any Ranger may immediately play 1 card. If it's the first attack card played during this battle, you get to add a die to the attack. Otherwise, you place this card at the bottom of your deck and you draw a card. Outpace. Play this card when an enemy card resolves. Reduce the damage the card deals by 1. If that card has a fast keyword, you will gain 1 energy. Thundermax Saber, 2-die attack. If any other effects add dice to it, you will add +1 die to the attack, and then you may divide the damage from this attack among any number of targets. I think that's really my favorite type of weapon, like even better than the Blade Blasters that we've had in a previous, that standard type of weapon we've seen for the Ranger team so far, like the Blade Blasters. So Tyranno Staff, 4 dice +1 damage. You may divide the damage among any number of targets that have yet to have been resolved. Tyranno Strike, 3 dice, and you may reroll any number of dice during the attack. So we've gone through all of Connor's cards. I'm going to move over to Ethan James next. So we've got his Ranger figure. Love the detail. Looks really cool. One day maybe I'll find the time to learn how to paint and paint up all my Rangers, but I got a lot of them. So first card is Improvise. Play this card when any Ranger performs an attack. Reveal the top card of that Ranger's deck. If it's an attack card, you get to add 1 die to that Ranger attack. Otherwise, gain an energy. Low kick. During this attack, all double results are treated as zeros. However, you do get a 4-die attack. Shield Bash, 3 dice. After you perform this attack, you may discard a reaction card from your hand. If you do that, you get to return this to your hand instead of discarding it. He's got his own Thundermax Saber. The Triceratops Shield, which is pretty cool as it's a reaction card. Play this card when any Ranger suffers damage to reduce the damage by 3. The next time any Ranger performs an attack, they get to add 3 dice to it. And Triceratops a reaction. You get to reduce the damage any Ranger would suffer by 3. So some pretty cool defensive cards. A lot of reactions. I definitely think Ethan's going to be a very different type of Ranger to play, but still very strong. Here we've got Kira Ford, Dino Thunder Yellow. Cool mini. I like the way she looks. We've got the Flying Kick. 2 dice, gain 1 energy. Like that. Harmonize. Another Ranger may immediately play a card. After that card resolves, choose 1 card from your discard pile with the same shield value, and you can add it back to your hand. That's great. Terror Grips. We have a 3-die attack. After you resolve this attack, any Ranger may immediately play a card, and if it's attacked, they get to add a die. Terror Scream reaction. Play this card before any Ranger performs an attack. Before that attack resolves, reduce the health of the target by 2 until the end of the turn. The Rapid Spin. If you roll any zeros during this attack, you get to immediately perform a second attack with the number of zeros that you rolled for your dice. So if you roll 2 zeros, well, then you can make a 2-die attack. And then she, of course, has her own Thundermax Saber. We've got Trent Mercer, Dino Thunder White. Here we go. We've got his cards, Arrow Shot, 3 dice. And then you get to ignore the guard keyword. I like it. Dash and Slash, 1 damage. And before rolling, you can place a card at the bottom from your hand at the bottom of your deck to gain +2 dice. Drago Strike, if it does get revealed for defense. Then the next time any Ranger performs an attack during battle, you add 1 die to the attack. Drago Sword, Maneuver. Choose 1 attack card from your discard pile with an energy cost of 2 or less. Play that card without paying the energy cost, but you get to add 3 dice to the attack. Laser Arrows, which is sort of his version of the Blade Blaster. You use energy, and then you can split it up between however many number of targets you want. And then Misdirection. Play this card when an enemy card deals damage to gain 1 energy, and you may divide that damage among any number of Rangers. So we've gone through all of his cards as a hero. However, if you're a fan of the show Dino Thunder, you know that we also had the evil Dino Thunder White. So let's take a look at what he's got. His Brutal Persona. Each time a Ranger discards a card for defense, strain, and energy. That's nasty. Dark Laser Arrow, which is fast. You roll 1 die for each energy in the shared energy pool. And you deal that amount of damage to each Ranger. Can be really nasty or not so bad. There's 2 of them. The Drago Sword. Deal 4 damage. The Ranger who suffers this damage reduces the shield value of each card they reveal for defense by 1. So, great way for you to get through the defense if you're a bad guy. And then Zord Control. Deal 3 damage. Repeat this effect once for each Zord in play. So there you have it. We've seen all the components. There's just his monster card right here. So now keep it right here as Julie and I will be coming back at you with our review for this expansion. Now, what are my thoughts on the Dino Thunder Pack for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid? Well, after playing the Legendary Rangers Forever pack, I have to say this was a nice breath of fresh air. I really enjoyed playing as the Dino Thunder Rangers. Now, Tommy Oliver, the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, was included in the Legendary Rangers Tommy Oliver pack. We also got Santa Claus here. Don't worry, I'll talk about him and Heximus in another video. So right now we're going to be focusing on the 4 Rangers that were in this pack, as well as talking about Evil Dino White. So you do get the evil version of Trent Mercer as well. And then, of course, we've got Connor, the Red Ranger, Kira, the Yellow Ranger, and Ethan, the Blue Ranger. And I have to say, these 3 Rangers so far, and at this point, we still haven't played the Ranger Allies, and we've not played Rangers United. That'll be coming soon, whilst waiting for Light and Dark. But I really like these Rangers. They are definitely up there in some of the top tier of Power Rangers. Connor's ability to start, even if there are fast cards in play, just sacrificing 1 dice works very well, especially in a location with Tommy, who can assist him in terms of giving him more dice. Also, if you do get his Tyrannosaur in play, he can get more dice. The fact that his Tyranno staff can also deal damage to anywhere in the lineup is just a huge help, meaning that you can start off the game with a big attack. If you're fighting, a monster, a boss, you'll be able to deal a ton of damage wherever you need it in the lineup and just really go ahead of that fast component. The fact that you've got the Terror Scream, and I don't have one out right now. I think, actually, yeah. The Terror Scream from Kira, that will let you actually weaken the card by 2 health. You can do the same thing with her Predazord, or Terrazord. The Predazord is for the White Ranger. It's just such a huge help. It means that you're making the attack, you're going first. You can even weaken some of the cards, and you can just really start off very strong. Also, the Thundermax Sabers can have their damage dealt anywhere provided you modify their dice count. You've got some great cards with Trent, for example, the Arrow Shot that ignores guard. You've got his 4-die Drago Strike that if it has been played, the next attack, has been revealed for defense, you add a dice to the next player's attack. It's just really cool. I love the way all of these characters work together as a team. You also get the Thundersaurus Megazord, who is a very cool Megazord. Now, I really wasn't sure about the ability. I thought I disliked the Megazord because you're just able to refresh your existing Zords. But the Tyrannosaur is great and works well in conjunction with a lot of the other cards in the player's decks. So does the Terrazord, being able to weaken cards. And the fact that this Megazord lets you refresh other Zords is just very strong when played with the Zords that are included in this pack. Now to move on to talk about, I want to talk about Ethan before I get to Evil Dino White. Ethan plays very differently than other Rangers, and he's got a lot of strong defensive abilities, but what I really liked is he also has some very good offensive abilities. His Terra Shield his Tricera Shield was very cool because it is a 3 defense block. It does cost 3 energy, but it gives the next card played an extra 3 dice. So if you team that up with a Thundermax Saber or the Tyranno Staff, you'll be spending 6 energy. It can very well be worth it. You can do a devastating hit to, the final boss, or potentially even deal just a ton of damage to most of the monster's cards in 1 turn. So it works very well in terms of covering for other players and even just being able to help defend them. So I like that there's a really good balance, that all of the players' abilities are fairly useful. Trent's being able to deal an extra damage if he deals a minimum of 3 was pretty good. Lets you clean up some cards you might have missed. Kira being able to be that energy machine for you. If she rolls doubles, you can gain 1 energy per battle. And then Ethan being able to draw a card if you happen to roll a 0, or any Ranger rolls a 0, I believe. Can't quite see around there. I'll take a peek. When you roll 0 result, the Ranger may draw a card. Does give you a lot of opportunities to keep the battle flowing and potentially take some risks for some big rewards. Suffice it to say, I had a lot of fun playing as these 4 Power Rangers. Now let's talk about the 5th miniature that you get in here, and it's the monster Evil Dino White, who has to be one of the strongest monsters that I faced. I've got him set up right now just because we were trying an extra battle against him, but his Drago Sword, essentially when it goes off, it reduces the amount of shields for defense, meaning it can chew through someone's deck. The Dark Laser Arrow, if we don't take it out, it can deal damage based on the amount of energy that you have. So if it is the first card going and you don't happen to have Connor in play, or you decide not to use the ability, he could be doing somewhere upwards of 10 dice worth of damage, depending on how many Rangers and energy you have in the location. His Zord control, where he gets to deal damage based on the Zords that you've got unlocked. If he comes out a little bit later in the game, can be devastating as well. So I really found it to be one of the strongest monsters, and definitely presents a great challenge for the Rangers. Now, I do feel that it's balanced out by the Dino Thunder Rangers and some of their abilities. The fact that Connor can go first, paired up with the right support, means that you might be able to stop Evil Dino White in its tracks, but you're going to need the rolls to go with it. I really think that this is a great expansion pack and really is one of my favorites for the game. So I think I've talked enough about this pack. I'm going to give you my rating for it right now. I think this is an 8. This is definitely an essential pack if you're a fan of Heroes of the Grid. Make sure you pick it up, get it added to your collection, because I really think you won't be, I'm not going to be steering you wrong on this one. Also, Dino Thunder is one of my favorite seasons, one of the few that I've seen after Lost Galaxy, and I really felt that it captured the theme and the essence of that in this experience. So on that note, I'm going to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you'll find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see some pictures of Julie and I playing Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, there are plenty on those feeds. Also down there's a link to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store. Click the link and you can get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support the channel, as a portion of that purchase will be returned to us. So if you're looking for anything from Renegade Game Studios, Heroes of the Grid, Power Rangers deck building game, Transformers, make sure you click that link and you check them out. Also now popping up in front of me are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. Over here will be our most recent release, and over here it's going to take you back to our review of the Zeo Ranger pack, which is the one I think I like closest to this one, maybe even a little bit more. I don't quite remember. And on that note, I'm now going to grab my drink and to remind you to keep playing games.